Hey, I'm going to show you a couple more tips with working with Yoast SEO. A fantastic client of mine was working on improving the SEO analysis, trying to get a particular blog post to rank a little bit higher. Though remember, all of these things do take some time. This is a more recent post of hers, so she's going to have to give it a little while for it to make the rounds of social media and for Google to see it as, something to pay attention to. But taking a look here, for internal links, that means that Google and Yoast, they want you to link to other blog posts or other pages on your site. So if you go ahead and if you have something related, you might put in there that like, hey, if you really liked this, then maybe you would like to check out this post. In this case, this is about math workshops and structuring math workshops. So perhaps if she has something on structuring another thing in math, she might say, hey, if you enjoyed reading about structuring math workshops, go here to read about structuring math morning time. Now the key phrase and introduction, this one was a little bit tricky because I went up here and she had the key phrase in her introduction. Her key phrase was math workshop. And if you read here, I have some tips for structuring math workshop. And I was like, what is going on? So I finally figured out if you go to the text, the code view, if you put, and in this case, she didn't put, it's just something that was added. If you put an image or something that has any kind of like opening and closing code and that little slash and with those the same words, that's an opening and then that's a closing. In this case, there's nothing in there. But Yoast and perhaps Google are reading that as something completely separate from the first paragraph. So all you have to do is delete that. You can go back to visual to take a look. I'm going to update it. And once I've updated the post and I come back down here, you'll see that that is okay. It's key phrases introduction. Well done. The improvements that can be made, these are things that they suggest we don't really have to do. The key phrase in the title, her key phrase is in her title. Don't stress about it being at the beginning. You can try to move it around, but that's not something I stress about. The image alt attributes, you actually are not supposed to be adding your key phrase to the alt tags anymore because alt tags are supposed to be used to describe images. I'm going to do a whole nother series of videos on alt tags for images. And then outbound links, that's another thing you can just ignore. So this other stuff, I've already talked about internal links. Previously used key phrase. You don't want to use the same key phrase because Google gets confused about which blog post is going to be more important. You need to change it up a little bit. So I went to kind of check out like what other posts she was using. But in this case, I think she probably just duplicated a post and was just working on it because these are just drafts. So once she goes through and updates these posts and removes the keyword, then it'll be just fine. So she just needs to go in here and she just needs to edit and change the keyword to each of these draft posts and that will clear out there. And then key phrase and subheadings. So if you go up here, subheadings are anything that's wrapped in what we call an H2 or an H3. Your title up here is automatically wrapped in H1 and you don't want to add more H1s. But if you take a look at here, why does math workshop matter? And that one is wrapped in H3 right here. And you'll notice it's also, you can just change it right there, which is much easier on the visual editor here. And so I might do math workshop station. Just kind of insert into a couple of these subheadings. In this case, this is heading 4. This is especially important for heading 1, 2, and 3 because that's really what Yoast and Google are looking at. But it's okay to add it to heading 4 as well. I went and added math workshop in this heading 3. And I'll go ahead and update it. So I overdid it. It says now that more than 75% of my subheadings. So I overdid it. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to click update. That's like keyword stuffing. So now when I go to SEO, we're pretty good. The only thing that I would need to solve is add an internal link and then just adjust those previously used key phrases, which I'm going to do right now, I think, just to kind of show what effect that has. So now I'm going to scroll down. And the SEO is happy because we got it. The only problem we have is that internal links. Usually it allows you one thing. It's really hard to get everything perfect, but that would be an easy thing to come in and just find a sentence somewhere to add an internal link. So there you go. There's just a few tips on working with Yoast.